10 Most Underrated Classic Pickups America Ever Made. America has always been the leader when it comes to pickup trucks. While the Ford F-150 leads the brigade as the best-selling truck, there are plenty of others from Chevy, Ram, and GMC to give it a run for its money. Lately, even the Japanese entrants are there please every palate and wallet, especially Toyota, which is the cream of the crop. But when it comes to American trucks, not all have been all that well received. Sometimes, rightly so, considering not every pickup truck that American automakers churned out was as good as the rest. But other times, the trucks were good, but somehow remained underrated and undersold for most of their lives, for reasons beyond the industry's control. Of course, this also means that these trucks can be today's cool and affordable classics since their value never really went up. Here go 10 underrated classic pickup trucks made in America, and the reasons why. 10. 1940-47 International Harvester K-Series pickup. Much like Ford, Chevy, and Dodge, in the 40s, International Harvester was also churning out one truck after another and called these the K-Series trucks. They ran from K1 to K14, but minus a K9 or a K13, as per their load-carrying capabilities. The K-Series pickups were good to look at and built sturdy, but it was nevertheless Chevrolet that had the best-selling pickup, with Ford and Dodge filling in the gaps. The International Harvester got medium sales and remains an underrated, undervalued classic in the market, for $22,000 or so. Nine. 1978-79 Dodge Lil Red Express. For 1978, not only was the Dodge Lil Red Express the coolest pickup truck in the market, but it was also the best piece of Mopar. If you wanted the fastest thing on the road for this year, all muscle cars failed in the face of this truck. 1979 Dodge Lil Red Express pickup truck via Pinterest because for this year, Dodge managed to find a loophole in the emission regulations and managed to release the Lil Red Express minus a catalytic converter. A big boy toy. This was the fastest car for 1978, and yet, remained undervalued since then, at $16,500. 8. 1960s Studebaker Champ. Studebaker is another automaker that buckled under the bad economy and the malaise era. But in the 60s, it had the Champ, the first pickup to come with a full-width, sliding rear window. In 1964, this truck also started offering aircon. It came built tough, so much so that Studebaker often said that its 1-ton pickup could do what the other automakers' 3 tons couldn't. It was a bestseller for 1960, but thereafter, sales slowly spiraled down, and today, it's a forgotten classic for just around $12,000. Seven. 1957 to 1979 Ford Ranchero. Even though the Ford Ranchero came first, it was the Chevy El Camino that received all of America's love for a ute. The Ranchero looked great, and whether you called it a truck car or a car truck, it was the prerequisite to today's pickups. It had a bed, could haul, somewhat, but drove as comfortably as a car, and came at a time when pickups were a back-breaking ride. It remained undervalued for its life, appealing more to the college crowd with little spending power, but as a classic, it seems to be getting a bit of love. However, it's still quite affordable today. 6. 1948 to 1953 Dodge B-Series. Post-World War II, the Dodge B-Series went neck to neck with the Chevys and the Fords of its time, but somehow, they always fought a losing battle. Called Pilot House Dodges, these came reliable and handsome in the beginning but got dated pretty quickly. For most, if it was a pickup truck, they went for Chevy's advanced designs, and Ford's new F-100 for 1953 also began receiving interest. Despite the all-weather ventilation and the Aero Ride seat that fit 3, the Dodge B-Series was turned into a relic pretty quick. A 1949 B1B was sold for just $17,000 this year. 5. 1970s Chevrolet C10 Cheyenne. This was the time the star of the Chevy trucks was beginning to fade and the Ford F-Series was racing to the fore. Built stylish, the C per Kelvin trucks were stunning and the C10 Cheyenne was especially good-looking. By this time, Chevy pickups had front disc brakes and a power steering option. The Cheyenne was further plush with many engine options. But the popularity was dimming, and today, these are some of the most affordable classics on the lot. They may be underrated, but they were certainly up to the competition of the time, so it's a surprise to see one of these available for $13,650 only. 4. 1981 to 1986 Jeep Scrambler CJ8. The Jeep Scrambler CJ8 came for just 5 years, and during its lifetime, saw only modest sales, with many picked up by the U.S. Postal Service. The longer wheelbase gave it balance, and the ride became much smoother. Even President Reagan got one in blue and used it extensively on his ranch. Yet sales remained low for the time, and it was only later that people slowly began to realize its value and worth. Even then, it remained undervalued as a classic today, for just $15,500 or thereabouts. 3. 1970s Dodge D200. Before the Ram, there was the Dodge. More specifically, the Dodge D200, a 3/4-ton biggie that later led to the D250, which is what the Ram 2500 was later based on. These were good and sturdy trucks, but in the face of Chevy's and Ford's dominance, received little love. Dodge even had the D200 Camper Special, a range-topping model with a bigger tank and a 5.2-liter V8 as the smallest engine option. However, it was undersold in its time and is a largely languishing classic today. Here's an excellent condition D200 for just under $19,000. 2. 1948 to 52 Ford F1. Before the Ford F-Series took over the market in a big way, it too struggled to find a foothold, beginning with its first post-World War II offering, the first of the F-Series. They were known as the bonus builds and came in F1 to F8 versions, beginning with the half-ton and going up to the heavy-duty. The detailing was good and the trucks looked full of beans and hope, but Chevy still ruled the market at the time, and Ford received but a share of love. There's one of these beauties available for just $28,500. 1. 1947 to 1965 Jeep Willys pickup. We may wax eloquent about the Willys Jeep today, and these old pickups are usually very cheap on the market, but at the time, they were as utilitarian as a tin bucket, and had just about as much glamour. 1961 Willys Jeep pickup 4x4 3-speed pickup via Bring-A-Trailer. They sold plenty but were never considered top of the line back then, and they remain affordable classics to date, not too much in demand. However, they still come with plenty of life in them, so giving them a whirl is a cool idea. Here's one that can be yours for $22,000.